like privately or interpersonally, I wouldn't bring these people up.
No, because I'm just going to say that right off the bat, you're quoting somebody, right? Who I don't consider somebody that we should quote. I just don't think very highly of their opinion. I've locked horns with them in the past. They have like a lot of Zionistic ideas, and when I hear somebody who claims to be involved in Torah arguing on the side of Zionism, I just say, here's somebody that should not be quoted. Here's somebody that should not be quoted ever. They obviously have a very misguided idea of what Judaism is, and they have blended hybrid Judaism together with a form of a different belief system, a form of heresy, and they're watering down Judaism and making it heretical, because when you take treif and you add it to kosher, you make the kosher thing treif. There's no room for hybrid. There's no room for two opposing views. There's no, oh, it's you know, Elu ve'elu, divrei Elokim chayim. It's like two separate, you know.
They speak the words of the living God.
Yeah, but they don't, right? When you have treif and you throw it into kosher, it's not two different kosher views blended together. It's a kosher view and a treif view, right? Anyone who argues on the side of religious Zionism is not saying a kosher piece of Torah. They're saying treif. Okay, so I have a problem with this, just as I have a problem with you quoting Prager, who spews out a lot of garbage. But this is, in my opinion, worse, because this is somebody who you would hold as being a frum Rav and all this stuff. Whatever. Go ahead, quote him. There's enough heresy already on this stupid show.
So anyway, we're talking about the time of Noach, where corruption was just like rampant on earth. But the real problem was not so much the corruption, because there's always corruption. In every society there's corruption. The big problem with what was going on at the time of Noach is that this corruption was basically legalized. And one of the things that they were doing is that they were even celebrating same-sex relationships and having ceremonies celebrating same-sex relationships and saying this is legal marriage. Like, that was one of the problems at the time of Noach. That's when, like, when one man chooses to bugger another man in the privacy of their own home, it doesn't destroy a society. But when a society says, hey, when one man can marry another man, and this is equally valid form of marriage and love, and equally appropriate form of sexual relationship as a husband and a wife having sex, that society is headed for the toilet. And this issue of what the media calls gay marriage, but the issue is really same-sex marriage, really the issue is the separateness of men and women, the differences between the sexes. This is the type of thing that destroys a society. So I don't think our society is not going to be destroyed by terrorism. Like, no matter how many terrorists, attack us, we're not going to be destroyed by terrorism. But we could be destroyed by just accepting, abortion on demand, by accepting, nothing wrong with same-sex marriage. It's every bit as valid as a man and a woman. And this was the problem back in Noach's day. This is one of the reasons that God wanted to just destroy the world, because it had reached such a level of depravity. So you might say, oh, consenting adults, what they do, is not depraved. Well, what about a consenting brother and sister, consenting, father and daughter? Like, is there no concept of sexual depravity in your mind that even you find repulsive? Like, let's say a father wanted to marry his daughter, or a son wanted to marry his mother, or a brother and sister wanted to marry. Is there nothing that you find depraved that you said, okay, enough, we must stop?
No, I'll tell you something. I've seen this countless times, that on the internet, in various places, whenever they talk about, whenever you find someone who's into same-sex marriage, and they're, oh, I'm a big proponent of same-sex marriage, right? It's like, oh, it's B-Lave. Hey. What did he say?
He's complaining about the equality of the
hey, it's B-Lave, it's Brett. How's it going, man?
Carry the show for 60 seconds.
Ben Adam. Well, you're not even listening.
Just carry it.
Okay, so, so what am I saying? So, and there's a guest. Come on, guest, sign in. Let me just read the, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read the chat room here, because everybody's complaining about our audio. Sounds like a southern thunderstorm. I was really hoping that the sound is so poor. So Ellen left, audio civilian, Lakewood Rob came and go, and now it's who came and gone is Brett. All right, so this part's really boring. But the thing I've seen on the internet, like you find somebody like on Facebook or whatever, MySpace or one of these places, and you see somebody and they make a big point of, oh, I'm so in favor of gay marriage. There should be same-sex marriage, should be legal because I'm a libertarian, and I think, oh, it all goes, as long as you don't hurt other people, it's all good, blah 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 blah. And then something comes up, and there's like, you see the hypocrisy, because you see a marriage, let's say, between a guy my age or older,
right,
with a young woman, and maybe she's 18, 16 or whatever, and suddenly they're all up in arms. Ooh, this is no good, this is no good, this is no, and you get like a whole speech.
Right.
You get a whole speech from these same-sex marriage proponents,
right,
who like won't shut up, and it's nauseating, and they will never reconsider their position on same-sex marriage. They consider it an affront. Like, you're right, like abortion and same-sex marriage, you've got to have those things. And they're so proud of people coming out and saying they're gay, right? And they're so proud of that. And they're so proud, like, oh, and anybody who's anti-abortion, right? You could never vote for them because that's the most important issue on the thing, right?
Right.
Forget the fact that we have a terrible economy. Forget the fact that we're at war with 6 nations. You don't want to allow an abortion? Oh, you're a terrible person, right? Can't vote for you. Period, right? Right? But these same hypocrites, you tell them like some sort of relationship that they're not, they think, they'll basically tell you that's queer, right? They're saying fucking hypocritical language, right?
Yeah.
Don't ever say that gays are queer, right? Don't ever say there's anything wrong with gay marriage, right?
Yeah.
But God forbid somebody my age should get married to somebody who's a teenager, right? And suddenly, all the hatred and all the what's the word I want for hatred? Senseless hatred and all the prejudice and the bigotry and all this, and this fucking hypocritical bullshit comes out. Yes, I'm talking to you. Okay? And this is what comes out. And I've faced this. I've faced these hypocrites for the last, how many years? 5 years, let's say, right? On the internet. Why? Because I'm in your face with it, right? Because first I was engaged to a woman who's a teenager, and I was engaged for 3 years, right?
She's your daughter?
Oh yeah, not you too, huh? And then and now I'm involved in the new woman, like my new girlfriend, right? Right? For like the last year, is also a teenager, right? And I'm getting older, not younger.
13,
right?
14?
No, this one's 19.
Okay.
But in both cases we started when they were 18.
Right.
Okay? But, you're going to get like and I know what people are saying because I heard it last time. So I know what they're thinking this time. The only difference is they know that I don't tolerate it now. Right? And they know that I will delete you and block your ass because they've seen it. Right? But I don't have any patience for anyone who especially people who are like so pro-gay. I'm so pro-gay marriage. I'm so pro-abortion. I can handle anything. I don't judge people. And then you turn around and then you say, oh, what do you as a 50-year-old have in common with a teenager? Ew. And that's another thing they make was the ooh sound, right?
Yeah.
Ew. When you talk to them about maybe like a 16-year-old with somebody my age, and they think, oh, that's child abuse. Ew, ew, right? That's sick. That's this. That's that. What do you mean, ooh? Right? How can you ooh when you're okay with gay marriage? Is there a difference? A 16-year-old woman is an adult, let's face it, right? A 16-year-old woman is an adult.
Should be.
No, but in many places they
if
are.
she chooses to be infantilized, but
16-year-old
no.
There's many states in America already where
I'm not just talking legally, I'm talking...
Oh.
I don't think primarily legally, I think morally. 16-year-olds should consider themselves an adult.
I think
they should take on adult responsibilities such as the commandments.
Okay, well, if you're going to do that, then a Jew, according to the Torah, is an adult at age 12. A woman is an adult at age 12, and I hold by that, right?
I hold by that too.
I hold by that, and a man is a 13-year-old, and I totally hold by that. And we're reducing the laws, the ages in the laws now in America, and eventually it'll be 13 and 12. Maybe not, the next 10 years or so, but we're definitely heading in that direction. We're definitely lowering the bar, right? There's states right now where a woman is full adult, 16, she can have sex with whoever she wants. We talked about that when we were talking about Mark Sanchez before. Yeah. Because the woman that he was with was a 17-year-old, but in all 3 states that he banged her in or whatever, she was an adult. Connecticut, New York, Connecticut and New Jersey is 16, and New York is 17. So there was no crime. There was nothing wrong. She's an adult. She's an